Hello friends, welcome to my channel Sushant Chess. Today we are at the next topic, that is how to build an attack, and we are going to see what are the foundations of a sacrifice, how one initiates the idea of sacrifice. So this is the position here with black to play. Last two we can see is qb7, the rook on a8 is stuck. It looks like black has to play c6 or just give up the rook on a8. Black had some idea in mind, of course. First factor that will help us understand whether he should give up the rook is to count the development and see how he is placed. We can see that black has 1, 2, 3. This d7 knight is not very well placed but developed, and the queen's ability fourth to instantly come to a5 in many cases. Black's c5 pawn plays a major role in attacking d4. White queen is active but on the queen side, and it should be considered in the corner here. White's king is stuck in the center. It will be there for some more moves. Bishop and rook are undeveloped. A1 is also undeveloped. So black embarked on an idea of giving up the exchange here. He thought, let's play cd4 and then give up a8 and maybe try d takes c3. When bc is not possible, bishop c3 check wins the rook, and this pawn along with the poor placed queen and the king should be enough as a compensation. This example is not very difficult or complex one, but it will let us understand, help us understand how to go about a sacrifice. So black goes with the move cd4. Now if bishop takes d4, bishop takes d4, this looks like a very decent idea. And now take on a8, because then dc3, that pawn on c3 was annoying, it will not be there. But here black has the very strong qb6. See the difference in queen's activity. White queen, which looks active, is stuck in the corner. Black queen, which looks passive, suddenly joins the center. See, it attacks b2 and f2, and this position immediately collapses. It's a lost position. qb2 is a massive threat, bf2 is a threat. If nd1 trying to guard both, there can be qb4 or also the move knight c6 when we see that the poorly placed queen is getting trapped. So this would be winning for black. Thus white had to go with the move queen a8. Now comes d takes c3. Here two things are very difficult. White played queen a7 in the game. Had he played queen d5, then there would have been c takes b2, and after the move rook d1, there would be the move q c7. Very useful and effective move. There are multiple ideas. Black threatens knight e5, black threatens bishop c3 check, black can go with the move nc6 followed by nb4. So there will be multiple threats in this position. Do note that the rook on d1 will also be a defender. It has to constantly keep the b1 square under control. We have a very similar play in the game as well. White took queen takes a7, c takes b2. Anyways, I feel by this time white would have understood that his position is almost losing. After the move rook d1, which I was discussing some time ago, now there will be the move bishop c3 check. King e2 is really bad, and after bd2, see, rook cannot take because b1 queens. So kd2 would be forced, and there would be a very simple tactic. Knight e5 check, king c2, and just see queen takes d1. King d1 forced b1 queens, and not only black is piece up, but white king is very poorly placed, so he will get mated very soon. Rook d8 is there. It means now white had to play the move rook b1. Still comes bishop c3 check, bd2, kd2, and here black didn't hurry with the move knight c5 or knight e5, but played a very useful developing intermezzo here, seeing where this queen wants to go. Now the final piece of analysis is there. Queen safely went to a3 here, because see, b7 allows nc5 check, queen is lost. a4 allows nc5 check, queen is lost. So in most places the queen is lost. So queen e3 was another option. Queen e3 also loses after knight e5 check. kc2, it looks like b2 would be taken, but after nd4 check, king takes b2, we see the power of these knights. Now see, qb6 check. Game over. If king goes to a1, then knight c2 mate. King a3 allows rook a8, bishop a6, rook a6 mate. king c3 perhaps forced, then rook c8 check, kd2, and here there are multiple ways of winning. One is qb1, qd4, qc1. Otherwise, just take on f3 first with a check, force kd3 and qb1 checkmates. So look at the poorly placed king here. Now we already know by this time, after seeing so many examples, how we are trying to snatch the initiative. I will be doing some more lessons on this, of course. How to plan or build a sacrifice. Here the position was already there. Maybe in some other lesson we will see how he planned the sacrifice. That is our other series which is going on. So white went queen a3 after nc6. Now still comes knight d e5 check, keeping eye on the d3 and the f3 squares. White played ke1. After k e2 there is the move nd4 check, and after ke1 nc2 check. Queen would be lost. Now we can see that black wants queen a5 check. Queen is not only attacking the king, it attacks a2 also. Pawn on b2 is dangerous. Rook will come out quickly. So this queen is overloaded, guarding a5 and f3 both. So comes knight f3 check. Queen takes f3. Queen a5 check. Now see, in every variation, either the queen is lost or white gets mated. After ke2 there is knight d4 check winning, and after kd1 there is rook d8 check. Here white resigned actually. After bd3 there is the very strong qc3. Look at the paralyzed position of the king and the rooks. Everything is in trouble. Rook d3 is a massive threat. Queen e2 will not help. ke2 just loses to nd4 check. First queen would be lost, then the bishop would be lost. So white chose to resign here, which is a very reasonable decision. From tomorrow onwards, I will be starting a small crash course on tactics, improving our tactics, how to calculate, looking for variations, some conceptual and some purely based on calculation. It will be there in Hindi and English both. I hope you are finding my lessons useful and instructive. Do let me know in the comments below. Thanks for your time.